morning, I'm Margaret Mesker.
And I'm John Smith.
Welcome to Nightlife TV. Tonight on Nightlife TV, we're going to take you behind the scenes of a Broadway hit show that you don't have to truck into Manhattan to see. It's right here on Long Island in Bellport Village, and it's been here for almost 40 years, and each year it gets bigger and better.
We'll also bring you a brand new nightlife feature we call our Preferred Dining Showcase, and tonight we're going to feature the restaurants of the village of Bellport.
And for those of you out there who have lucky numbers, stay with us because we're going to introduce you to a numerologist who's going to tell you just what those numbers mean.
Nightlife TV also brings you on a vacation getaway in the mountains.
All that and so much more coming up tonight on Nightlife TV.
Nightlife TV is brought to you by Interiors by Atlantic in Farmingdale and Carl Place.
Marvin & Son Jewelers in Cedarhurst and Woodbury.
Raphael Men's Clothes in Roosevelt Field.
Next Hair in Deer Park.
Jasper's Supper Club in Hop Hog. And by the OBI. Reliability, fine quality, service, selection, and great prices. These are just a few of the reasons that so many people shop at Marvin & Sons Jewelry. But the reasons don't stop. Marvin & Sons not only have the best prices and selection, but they also have their own repair facilities with selected professionals that care about you and your jewelry. For all your fine jewelry, watches, and gifts, shop Marvin & Sons in Cedarhurst and Turnberry Commons in Woodbury.
There's a party going on right now, and you're invited.
Sunday!
Get away from it all. Relax and enjoy the spectacular view. Meet the friendly people. Eat at the pizza parlor or just... Music, the people, the celebration continues till closing. Non-stop. A perfect way to finish the weekend. OBI's Sunday celebration. Great live music and a DJ. 21 and over, casual attire. OBI, Jones Beach Causeway, Oak Beach.
Hey, there's a party, and you're invited. It's the phone party at 1-900-999-9393. It's the newest way to meet fresh, fun, exciting people by dialing 1-900-999-9393. You can be connected with up to 10 or more people of all ages on one line that want to exchange phone numbers, ideas, and find out what's happening all over town. Just 95 cents for the first minute and 45 cents each additional minute. Call now.
The phone party!
A good haircut is only the beginning to a great look. Next Hair Design Studio will create a whole new look just for you. Next Hair creates a total look with on-staff color experts, makeup artists, and hair designers. Next Hair designers travel the whole world to bring you the best. Next Hair features only the finest professional hair care products. So next time you want a new look, next time you want a new you, next time you want to look your best, think Next.
If you've never been to Bellport Village, just picture a sleepy New England town, a quaint village with big old Victorian houses that line the sidewalk, and where you can find a little bit of history and exciting entertainment at the Gateway Playhouse. It's one of the country's best and last true summer stock theaters. But unlike typical summer stock theaters, the Gateway Playhouse puts on shows that is comparable to anything that you might see on Broadway. So let's go behind the scenes and see how it all begins. Is it Broadway or is it the Gateway Playhouse? This production of Dreamgirls certainly doesn't look or sound like a typical summer stock production. It looks and sounds more like Broadway. And once the curtains go up, it's just as glitzy and theatrically thrilling as being on Broadway.
The productions themselves, I mean, maybe we're giving ourselves a pat on the back, but the reviews kind of bear out what I'm saying. They're top-notch productions. Dreamgirls, more than one reviewer compared it to the revival that was in New York last year, and favorably compared it. One even thought it was better. La Cage is the same thing. People that have seen these shows in New York City come out here and they enjoy them just as much, if not more.
And I'm young and in love.
And it's these two men, producers Paul Allen and John Hodge, who are responsible for turning the Gateway Playhouse into Long Island's very own Broadway. Allen grew up at Gateway. His family has owned the Playhouse for 3 generations, and he says it's come a long way.
Gateway started about 35 years ago in the barn, which was the original theater, and at that time it was cows and chickens and all that running around the place, and they put some benches around and they did some theater in the round, and from there it grew into a stage was built in the barn, and now we built this theater.
3 years ago, Allen and Hodge pulled out all the stops. They decided that if they wanted Gateway to survive and be more than a summer stock theater, they would have to give the public a lot more than amateur productions, and that's just what they've done.
Lately we do the most recent Broadway releases that we can get our hands on from New York. Lately we've been getting more high-tech as far as the production values in the show, the lighting, the sound, special effects. And the people we're bringing out a lot more people from Actors Equity, which is a professional actors union in New York City. So when we do a show, sometimes we get original Broadway people in our shows.
Gateway Playhouse in the past few years has become known for the scenery. And in essence, what we have out there now is a full-fledged scene shop. All right, half the scenery is built outside, as we saw before. But it has all the equipment and all the makings of a real scene shop in there. We do our own welding here. We can work with metal. We have all the woodworking tools that we need here. Virtually everything we need. So depending upon the show, for instance, Little Shop of Horrors has already been bought from us. And after the set is on our stage for 3 weeks, it's then going to travel around the country on a national tour of Little Shop.
The setup at Gateway is really all that's left to signify a summer stock theater. Gateway is home to 70 people each summer, and like summer stock, everything is done on the property, not just construction of scenery, but costumes, props, and rehearsals.
A typical summer stock setup, and what normally happens here, is that the people start usually at about 10 o'clock in the morning rehearsing for whatever the next show up is. And they work from 10 till about 4 or 5 with a lunch and a dinner break in there. And then they come back about 7 o'clock at night, and they get ready to do the evening performance. And then they perform up until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and they go to sleep and start all over again the next day.
Allen and Hodge produce 5 shows a summer, and one of Gateway's most successful productions has been La Cage aux Folles.
La Cage is a big Broadway hit that came from the French play, La Cage aux Folles. And it's about 2 homosexual lovers, one's a transvestite, and the play takes place next to a nightclub, which has drag shows, men dressed up as women. And it sounds like a very bizarre theme for a musical. However, it's a very, very traditional musical. I mean, it's kind of an offbeat love story, and there are a lot of funny things that happen within the play itself.
There's no doubt that these actors, actresses, and dancers are nothing but professionals. And Gary Marachek, who plays the starring role of Albin, truly shines. He is a superb actor and brings a true feeling of believability to his character. Marachek has been in this business for over 20 years and says this is the most difficult and unique role he has ever done.
I've done Billis with the coconut boobs, and I've done shtick, making up as a woman. It was all in fun. It was all laugh. But this guy is serious about his part. He is a transvestite homosexual. And I told my director, I said, that is so far removed from me, I just don't think I could do it.
And Gary says he not only discovered a whole new side of himself professionally, but he has also gained great new respect for women.
Learning to talk, walking in heels, talking like a woman, having to put this makeup on. It was, I'd never done this before in my life.
Would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to pursue this role throughout my career. Absolutely. I love it. I just love it.
And the audience, yours truly included, loved Gary Marachek.
When life is a field pitch again, and my own sense of humor has up and gone, it's time for the big switch again. I put a little more mascara on, and a little more mascara
John, how did you like the show?
Oh, Margaret, I thought the show was great. I thought it was as good as anything I've seen on Broadway.
Oh, I knew you'd like it. Except that Gateway Playhouse does have one major flaw.
What's that?
It's not open all year round. You can only see a show here from May through to September. And you have to get here as soon as the box office opens because the tickets sell out fast. And don't forget to ask them about their special ticket packages, because at Gateway Playhouse, you can see 5 shows for what it would cost you to see 1 in Manhattan.
Wow, that's really a good deal.
Sure is.
Coming up on Nightlife TV, we're going to bring you to our preferred dining showcase, so stay with us. Marvin & Sons Jewelry, Long Island's finest jewelry store, has one of the largest selections of fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Marvin & Sons features Concord watches. Time is what you've made it. Concord. But there's more than just a huge selection at fantastic prices. Marvin & Sons also has its own in-house repair professionals to keep your fine jewelry looking its best. Marvin & Sons. They're located in Cedarhurst and Turnberry Commons in Woodbury.
Are you tired, bored, want to put some zap in your life? Well, pick up a copy of Long Island's Nightlife magazine, the most powerful source of entertainment information on Long Island. Nightlife covers it all from sunset to sunrise. Nightlife, your full-color entertainment magazine guide, and now Nightlife TV and radio shows. Pick up your copy of Long Island's Nightlife magazine at your local newsstand today. Nightlife.
Suave, style, sophistication. If that's how you want the world to see you, then you need to see Raphael's. Raphael's men's store in Roosevelt Field has the elements of style for today's leading man. Raphael's has the look and sophistication that you just don't find in a typical men's store. Whether it's for business, outdoors, or an exciting nightlife, it's Raphael's. Give us your body, and we'll do the rest. Raphael's men's store, Roosevelt Field.
There's a party going on right now, and you're invited.
Sunday!
Get away from it all. Relax and enjoy the spectacular view. Meet the friendly people. Eat at the pizza parlor, or just... The music, the people, the celebration continues till closing, non-stop. A perfect way to finish the weekend. OBI's Sunday celebration. Great live music and a DJ. 21 and over, casual attire. OBI, Jones Beach Causeway, Oak Beach.
Margaret, what's the best way to see a show?
John, is this a riddle? No, all right, wait, don't tell me. On a full stomach, right?
When it comes to food, Margaret usually has the right answer.
Don't make fun of me. I mean, you don't want to sit through a terrific show and be distracted by the growls from your stomach. I'm just being sensible. So where are you going to take me?
Tonight, I'm going to bring you to some of Long Island's finest restaurants located right here in the village of Bellport. And tonight, they're featured on our preferred dining showcase. The first stop in our showcase is the Old Inlet Inn, located at 108 South Country Road. Built in the 19th century, this historic place was recognized by the U.S. Department of the Interior and placed on the National Register of Historic Places on July 4th, 1980. After your before-dinner cocktail, you're now ready for a great meal. The Old Inlet Inn has 2 dining rooms that provide a safe harbor for any occasion. And if a romantic evening is what you have in mind, how about this cozy spot? If the decor of this fine restaurant reflects the past, their menu looks toward the present as they offer dishes for today's dining customer. How does escargot and a flaky pastry sound for an appetizer? For your main course, might we suggest grilled lamb minuets with Zinfandel mint sauce, or medallions of veal in a raspberry glaze with wild rice, surrounded by a snapdragon salad. The Old Inlet Inn is located at 108 South Country Road in the village of Bellport. Located at 159 South Country Road, the Bellport kitchen looks quite ordinary from the outside, but what you'll find inside is in fact quite extraordinary when you enter this 19th century building fashioned in American colonial decor. Your host at the Bellport kitchen is Buddy Countess. He offers a very comfortable place to dine that is truly old-fashioned. Both dining rooms give you that colonial American spirit with plenty of room to relax. With a simple American cuisine that offers such favorites as filet of sole stuffed with broccoli and Swiss cheese, or sautéed chicken with mushrooms and onions served on a bed of rice, your taste buds will fly into ecstasy when they sample these very special dishes. Dessert at the Bellport Kitchen is a real treat with a sinfully delicious item like the Bellport Bell Ringer. The Bellport Kitchen is located in Bellport Village at 159 South Country Road. The last stop at Nightlife TV's preferred dining showcase is the Bellport Chowder House, located at 19 Bellport Lane. Standing on the side of the old Bellport Hotel, which opened in 1889, this fine restaurant offers what our host Jim Avino simply describes as an eating and drinking tradition. When you set sail for the nautical room, you get a sense of what it was like to dine in this old sailing town over 100 years ago. Turn-of-the-century architecture adorns this quaint dining room. Complete with an old-fashioned fireplace and ceiling fans, it's a very romantic way to start that special evening. What about the food, you say? Well, I must tell you that the Bellport Chowder House has one of the most extensive seafood menus I have ever seen. I recommend starting your meal with one of their famous chowders, their Long Island clam chowder, or their New England-style chowder. The Bellport Chowder House is located at 19 Bellport Lane in Bellport Village. What a spectacular view from Flutie's here at the South Street Seaport, where you can order an 8-pound lobster or a 21-day aged porterhouse steak. How about those numbers? And speaking of numbers, I have someone who's an expert on numbers, numerologist Sylvia DiPietro. Sylvia, what is numerology?
Numerology is the scientific and the mystical study of numbers. Some numerologists also claim that it's the study of sound, the numeric vibration of sound. Each number in our name has a sound quality, a vibrational quality, and a numerologist studies that to see in what way your energy is moving, and in the way your energy moves is the way your life moves.
Sylvia, here's a hypothetical situation. Boy meets girl in a bar. One of them calls you and says, I don't know how to proceed with this relationship. What do you tell them?
The first thing I do is I say to them, did you get her birthday? And it's not unusual that you will find somebody getting a person's birthday, or at least the month and the day they were born, pretty early in the relationship, because it's established in our culture very, very early in that relationship who's older, who's younger, where they stand. So the chances are very strongly that they know. Immediately I compute where he is, where she is, and then I see where we're going to proceed, and I advise, according to the caller, how to proceed with the person they're dealing with. So, for example, if I meet you and I know your name is John Smith and I know your birthday, then if a female comes to me, I can say, now look, John Smith is very revolutionary this year. He's eager for change. He's got a lot of change coming in. And there's a very strong possibility your relationship will cement with John in 1989 if you can get him past 1988. Because people in a certain year are going to have wonderful love affairs. And many people, that's all they want. If you want to settle in, though, there are certain years you don't get married. And if people want to get married in certain years, like a 5-year or a 9-year, I immediately recompute the whole thing, especially if it's possible that they can hold off. Because certain years you are not going to be successful if you get married, and the chances are 99% that it won't last that long. So I try to move this relationship past a certain point so they're in a safety zone.
Is it true that your birthday actually will give a clue as to what your character is like?
In numerology, we call numbers by octaves. For example, we have a 1 birthday, then we have a 10 birthday, that also is a 1. Then we have a 19 birthday that also vibrates to a 1. A 1 plus 9 equals 10, which equals a 1. And then we have my birthday, which is a 28. 2 plus 8 also vibrates to a 1. And they're in octaves. Well, the ones are all alike in one basic way. The ones stand alone. They're very innovative. They lead. They want to be the boss and don't get in their way. The ones are very original. They're almost like a water sign and an air sign. They want to be the inventors and they want to be the bosses. So what happens is your birthday really controls your life from about 27 to 54 strongly. And it's just about at that period of time that you're maturing and you're coming into your own. You're shedding your insecurities, you're beginning to feel better about yourself, and what happens is the ones usually end up as the head of the department, running their own businesses, depending upon the numbers that surround them, such as the month you were born or the year you were born, it would tell you what kind of business you're going to be in, but usually they like to work alone. Then we have 12s. The 12 birthdays are wonderful. They're the zenith and the pinnacle of expression. You know, your Frank Sinatras are born on the 12th. You have many, many great lawyers, also artists born on the 12th, okay? I think David Letterman's birthday is the 12th, okay? What we have with these birthdays are a sense of procrastination, but also honesty. They are the ones that will come up to Grandma and say, your hair looks like swamp grass, you know. But it's very interesting how certain birthdays have certain qualities.
Margaret, I don't know if you realize that people who play lotto and use birthdays and anniversary dates and so forth are actually practicing numerology.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that. But, John, what I really want to know is, do they win?
Not me. I haven't won using it, I'll tell you that.
And I have another question for you. What about the number 90?
I don't think there is a number 90.
Oh, well, there is, because 90 minutes from New York is Kent, Connecticut, where you'll find Club Getaway, a great vacation spot for couples and families. And we're going to take you there.
There's a party going on right now, and you're invited.
Sunday!
Get away from it all. Relax and enjoy the spectacular view. Meet the friendly people. Eat at the pizza parlor, or just... music, the people, the celebration continues till closing, non-stop. A perfect way to finish the weekend. OVI's Sunday celebration. Great live music and a DJ. 21 and over, casual attire. OVI, Jones Beach Causeway, Oak Beach.
Suave. Style. Sophistication. If that's how you want the world to see you, then you need to see Raphael's. Raphael's men's store in Roosevelt Field has the elements of style for today's leading man. Raphael's has the look and sophistication that you just don't find in a typical men's store. Whether it's for business, outdoors, or an exciting nightlife, it's Raphael's. Give us your body, and we'll do the rest. Raphael's men's store, Roosevelt Field. A good haircut is only the beginning to a great look. Next Hair Design Studio will create a whole new look just for you. Next Hair creates a total look with on-staff color experts, makeup artists, and hair designers. Next Hair designers travel the whole world to bring you the best. Next Hair features only the finest professional hair care products. So next time you want a new look, next time you want a new you, next time you want to look your best, think Next.
Are you tired, bored, want to put some zap in your life? Well, pick up a copy of Long Island's Nightlife magazine, the most powerful source of entertainment information on Long Island. Nightlife covers it all from sunset to sunrise. Nightlife, your full-color entertainment magazine guide, and now Nightlife TV and radio shows. Pick up your copy of Long Island's Nightlife magazine at your local newsstand today. Nightlife.
John, what kind of vacationer are you?
Well, Margaret, at times I like to relax, but then there are some times that I like to have some fun with activities.
Oh, so you like both?
Well, I guess you could say that, yes.
Well, then I have a place for you. Club Getaway up in the Berkshire Mountains. They have water skiing, tennis, mountain climbing, great food, and it's easy to get to. It's only 90 minutes from New York up in Kent, Connecticut. Nestled in the Berkshire Mountains, Club Getaway has been providing its guests with the perfect vacation experience for over 10 years. Complete with its tranquil setting and over 38 fun-filled activities, at Club Getaway, you get the most out of your leisure time. Windsurfing, rock climbing, baseball, water skiing. There are so many ways to have fun at Club Getaway, the list is endless. But if you're not much of a sportsman, that's okay, because the club has a complete staff of professionals to help you learn or improve on some of your favorite sports or activities. Club Getaway has 6 professional-sized tennis courts, and tennis pro Ken Abrams says tennis is one of the most popular sports at the club. Abrams says he works with beginners as well as the very advanced players. Here, Abrams is teaching 2 guests how to improve their ground strokes.
The best way of getting started on your ground strokes is through your feet. Are you ready to try it? Here we go.